Having investigated the Russell Town website to check out access to Russell Pond and parking passes and all that stuff, we decided we'd go to Littleville Reservoir instead. Littleville is an Army Corps of Engineer impoundment which destroyed a small community known as Littleville. We're going in here because we know it's got fish. There's been very little rain. Littleville, as we say, is a reservoir. People always fish it from shore. Boat launch. I mean, you can't put a real big boat on here. Well, you could, but you can't run it wide open. So, forget bass tournaments here at Littleville.
Right, Mr. Bostock was a real fixture of the community.
Yep.
And I grew up, I was actually born the day after Wayne, so we were our moms were roommates.
Yeah.
I was born at Noble.
Yeah.
So the Bostock's always been a close family, right? Well, one day Mr. Bostock Gordon, he was telling me, you know, one day my father got the knock on the door. They lived in the town of Enfield, under the Quabbin.
Right.
And he was telling me all sorts of stories. You know, they called it Greenwich, not Greenwich. It was Greenwich.
Yeah.
And he told me all these things, and he said, they got the knock on the door, and they said, we're buying your farm, because we're taking all the land. And they only gave him $350. He fought it, so they got robbed, and they all took what they had, and he couldn't live in nearby town.
Yep.
So he moved. He moved to a little town called Chester.
There you go.
Massachusetts. He says, and lo and behold, 1959.
Yeah.
Knock on the door. We're taking your farm. He's one of the only people that's known.
So he was up here.
He lost a farm in Quabbin, and he lost a farm here.
Wow, that is a great story.
Yep.
But
he loved this town so much, he moved down into Huntington. He loved the whole area.
So I don't know if you can see, but we have sundogs, the two rainbows on both sides of the sun. I mean, good luck on the hunt and good luck fishing. So me and Tom are getting after it. Now, Tom is already banging. He's already making his attack, and I'm going to cut him off by starting at this point right here. In the summertime, I've got some patterns I use, but we're talking about fall fishing. The water, I can tell, as my paddle splashes around in it, is in the 60s, maybe. My hand in it. Yeah, it's probably 65, 64 degrees. And the fish are going to be banging. They're really getting ready for that winter time, right? So they got to stock up, they got to eat, they got to get ready. And Tom has landed a pickerel, so he's on the board. I am as yet not on the board. Oh, I'm using some deep diver that I found last week at Lake Warner, and it is not running appropriately. Well, I used it for a little while. I threw one cast with it. The heck with that. It's time for something a little different. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm going to go with that chatterbait that I made. Oh, yeah. Let's see how this thing works. And this is nice because it's going to work the deeper water. I want to get down, and I like this because it's got the crayfish look to it. And this lake has got some big plateaus on it. Like we're approaching a big plateau. So you're going to have fish on the edge of the plateau. And I got to get this down. I don't want to be too aggressive with this. It's not the right time of the year to go burning it. Even though it's been warm, I got to be a little bit patient with this bait. So we got to get over here and see what Tom's got. He's got a big trout. He just caught a pickerel. He's got the Rapala on. I'm really only coming over here because I want to see which Rapala he's got on, because he's got two fish and I don't got nothing. But I got my Rapalas. Oh, he's got the little gold. Is it gold?
Gold with round top, gold bottom.
All right. The old jointed Rapala. It looks like a J9. I think it's a J9. Yeah, it is.
two pickerel and then this guy hit. I thought it was a good bass, but it's a decent rainbow.
Look at, oh yeah, he's got like a 16. He's got maybe a 16-inch rainbow. Let me back it up a little. Nice fish. Beautiful trout. Yeah, nice. The cold water's got to turn these beauties on. So I've been reduced to the Rapala. I might put it on my 8-pound test rod behind me. And I'll leave this for my heavier hardware. When we were coming out, I was talking to the camera saying how at this time of the year the weeds die back, right? And so the minnows have been hiding all summer in the weeds. And now the game fish go on the feed for those minnows. They have a little window where they, metabolism-wise, have the energy. And then it's going to get cold and their metabolism's going to slow down. So when they go on the feed now, they go on the feed. Oh, I missed it. This lake has got some good fish in it. Yeah, they like to come in here for trout. Every time I come in here, Tom, I catch trout. Like, this is deep, the trout hold over, and I think they even run up the middle branch at the end. They go up the middle branch in the summertime when there's like a thunderstorm or something. This is a beautiful lake for cold water fish, but it's got good bass in it too. I just don't understand why they didn't put smallmouth in it. It reminds me a lot of Lake George, at least in the northern arm of it. It's just a long, thin reservoir. And it's fairly deep in places. I think it goes down to near 85 feet by the dam, but they exclude you from fishing too close to the dam. As you can see from the shoreline, it's mixed hardwood. There's beeches, there's oaks, maples and birch. It's a beautiful forest here. And it really is some wild land. Like this side of the lake right here, on the left side, I mean, you go up that mountain and there's a farm on the top, but I wonder how many people ever really forage around or walk around in those woods with the glacial erratics. Now we're in an area where the water's really shallow. I can cast out into the deeper water here. You're attracted to the shoreline, but we're in an area where there's stumps off the shore. It's like a shallow plateau here. The water's only probably 4 or 5 feet deep out a good ways into the center of this lake. So you kind of want to get close to where the deep water meets the shallow water to increase your odds in terms of getting. Although Tom caught a couple trout in shallow water. Right at the end of my pole, there's a bald eagle sitting in the tree right there. Right there. See his white head. I'm sure he'll fly in a moment. I'll leave the camera on for when he does. Being a bald eagle, he's looking for hair club for men, I'm sure. You know he's feasting on those stocked rainbow trout. And with these beautiful crags and big white pines, I'm sure he's got a nest somewhere around here. He's getting ready to fly. I saw him move. There he goes. There he goes. Look at him go. Well, at least come over here, you buzzard. Come over here and say hello. It's outrageous. The symbol of our great country flying away, heading north. Ben Franklin said we should have made the national bird the wild turkey. And I'm giving him credit because, as he said, they're nothing but a glorified vulture. Franklin, you gotta love the guy. Poor Richard. America's favorite fat man, whatever you want to call him. Ben Franklin. Originally from Boston. I don't remember how. He was like the youngest kid in a family of like 13 or something. There's a bunch of them Franklin brats running around. And he made himself something. He's maybe America's first great self-made man story. Think about all the stuff Benjamin Franklin did. I mean, he invents the lightning. First, he discovers that lightning is, in effect, electricity. At which point, he takes what he does know, the work of all those Europeans that were playing with electricity and doing their experiments for esoteric reasons. And he, being a great capitalist, takes what he knew now, that lightning's electricity, and he creates the lightning rod and becomes like a millionaire. But he's not happy. He's like the Elon Musk of the time. He then invents the Franklin stove. He's got ships putting buoys in the water and collecting them. He determines that the Gulf Stream exists. I mean, he discovers it, right? The guy's amazing. He invents the bifocals because he's so pragmatic. He's sick of carrying around 2 sets of glasses, one for reading and one for distance. He just can't make it up. And then he's got all of his famous sayings from Poor Richard's Almanac. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. I mean, America's favorite fat man did it all. The early bird catches the worm. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And, you know, fish and visitors smell after 3 days. And my favorite, fart proudly, which to Franklin was a sign of good digestive health. The fat man rocked. And he was a ladies' man. He went to freaking Paris, and all of the women, they just loved him. He dressed like a homespun American, you know, like he was a frontiersman. I mean, the guy was a city boy. He wasn't a frontiersman, but he dressed with his, he dressed with his coonskin cap and his robes and looked like a frontier yokel, and he proceeded to have his way with the French mademoiselles and madames and etc. and so on. Franklin, what a character. There's that famous story when John Adams and I think it was Thomas Pinckney are going over there to help him with his work as ambassador to the court of Louis XVI. He goes, he meets them at Calais, and then they stay in a hotel room together. And back in those days, it meant they had to share the same bed. So they're sleeping in the same bed, and Franklin, being Franklin, gets the middle and forces them to leave the windows and doors of the hotel open because he says it promotes good pulmonary health. And years later, Adams, who had had a terribly uncomfortable night, will write that he heard about Franklin's death and say, well, it served him right. He froze me half to death that night in Calais. It seems like the fat fellow once again slept with the open air, plunging into his boudoir and caught his death a cold. You know, you always think about the founders as like just like a bunch of guys that liked each other. They didn't like each other. A lot of them didn't like each other. Ugh. A lot of egos there. Imagine those egos. Notice I got the tail going away from the hook. That's one of the secrets. And I got one on the drop. That's why I like the grub. Do I have one, or did I just get some weeds? No, I got one. The grub can be a very effective little bait. So you got to see me put the thing on, literally toss it out, catch the little largemouth. Nice. On a grub. The grub just does it. It's always been like that. Cast it out. He hit it on the sink. He saw it fall, so he just bashed it. Well, maybe I made you a believer out of the Yamamoto grub. So here I'm going to flip it over there again. Where there's one, there's more usually, so I'm letting it drop. pick it up, and I just come to 11 o'clock, and now I slowly reel it out. Let it drop again to the bottom. And pop it again. It really looks like a minnow. That's what's so nice about the grub. When they're hitting minnows, it looks just like a minnow. So, you'll catch them on the grub. Fire it over here. Let it drop. We're in about 8 feet of water there. And if you want it to drop straight, open up your bail. We got a big pickerel here. He was unexpectedly, he unexpectedly exploded. He hit a grub that was moving fast, and he hit it just right. He didn't swallow it. He's not that big of a pickerel, but he's still fun. I got myself a pickerel here. You know, this is a good shore for pickerel, I'll tell you. Come over here ice fishing. Yes, look at the size of that guy. He's a good pickerel. Barely hooked. It's got to be 19. Nice. A nice surprise at the end of the night. Mr. Pickerel. I got the backup on film. What? I put on the rubber Yamamoto grub because I'm like, what can it hurt? Because that's always been something I've done well with in here. So literally, I'm talking about how to rig it. I throw the first cast and I catch like a half-pound largemouth, and then right over in the corner, where the boom meets the land, I got about a 19-inch pickerel, a nice pickerel. So, but I had a couple more hits on the grub, too. But beyond that, how about you? Did you get anything on the other side? No, you know what? I feel like where we were, that was the hot area, where you caught those fish.
Oh, I'm glad you got a bass, though.
Oh, there was a couple of trout that came out of the water like animals out there. Shooting right up out of the water. They're wicked. They just dump them, you know what I mean? They're all rainbows in here. I don't know if they put any browns in here. Just dump them in. Here we are. Short trip, but we don't have a lot of light. You know, this is the time of the year when that sun is going down at 5:30, 6 o'clock. They haven't changed the clocks yet.
This weekend, right?
This weekend. So it's cabbage night. We've got to go home and smash some pumpkins. Right, Tom? This is your first cabbage night not on the force, so you don't have to worry about kids smashing pumpkins and toilet paper and neighbors' houses and stuff. No more, Tom. You're free. You can actually join me and we can have a ball.
Have at it. What do they want?
So, from Littleville Reservoir here in lovely Huntington and Chester, Massachusetts, another nice little afternoon. Out.